Welcome, eTown. Welcome to our final ETHS Career Pathway Info session on arts and communication. We are again streaming on the ETHS YouTube channel. Thank you for being with us today. And this is our last YouTube Career Pathway Info session for the 2021-22 school year. What a year that it has been. My name is Michelle Vasquez, and I'm the ETHS Post-Secondary Counselor in College and Career Services. And tonight we're going to focus in on career pathways in arts and communication. We are sharing with you today great opportunities for you or for maybe somebody that you know. Soon you're going to hear from our Career Partnership Manager, Ms. Tana Francelno, and a few of our local MEAC business partners regarding their entry-level career pathway opportunities for our Evanston youth in arts and communication. So let's begin, eTown. So here's our agenda for today. We will review the 7 ETHS career pathways. We will recap our ETHS career pathway events. We will take a peek at our ETHS career pathway student Google site. We will learn about the iKit opportunities, such as the summer iKit internship for seniors only. We will hear from our 3 MEAC business partners from the Hyatt House Hotel Evanston, Derek Blakely, our news reporter, and Northlight Theater in Skokie, and coming soon, Evanston. Finally, we will hear from Oakton Community College about their pathway programs in fine, performing, and applied arts, and also invite our seniors to some upcoming Oakton enrollment events. As a reminder, there are 7 ETHS career pathways. ETHS thoughtfully condensed the 16 national career clusters into 7 clear career pathways. They are agriculture, food and natural resources, arts and communication, finance and business services, health sciences and technology, human and public services, information technology, manufacturing, engineering, and trades. You can learn more about the ETHS career pathways in the Programs and Study Guide found on the ETHS website. ETHS would like to encourage students and their families to use this guide and the ETHS course request guide to help choose courses and activities offered at ETHS that will allow students to explore and develop their career interests. This guide is designed to be a resource to help students connect their course selection and extracurricular activities to their career interests and educational plans and training beyond high school. Whether a student is preparing to attend a 4-year university, a 2-year community college, the military, or the workforce, the exploration of possible pathways is vital. This past school year, we hosted 6 career pathway info sessions on the ETHS YouTube channel. If you missed any session, please just log in to the YouTube channel and search ETHS to view all previous recordings. As a reminder to our students, stay up to date on all ETHS career pathway events, opportunities, and new business partners on our ETHS career pathway Google site. It can also be found on the ETHS website under Career Planning Resources and in school links in the Career Opportunities board. Our final career pathway opportunity for the 2021-2022 school year is the summer iKit internship for seniors only. We have extended the deadline to April 15th. To apply, seniors, go to the tiny URL that you see on your screen or scan the QR code. Again, remember the deadline has been extended to April 15th for our graduating seniors only to apply to the iKit summer internship. We are looking for various students who are dedicated and who want to be placed with local business partners to explore various career pathways. You will be paid $15 an hour and you will be interviewed. Interviews have already begun, so students do not delay. Submit your application today.
Hey, town, welcome. My name is Ms. Tana Francelno. I'm the Career Partnership Manager here at ETHS and the bridge to the local employer community. Today, we are featuring our next and final career pathway info session in arts and communications careers. We're really excited to have you all here. Thanks for joining us, and I hope you enjoy the presentation. Hey, town, welcome. We're with our speaker for our Arts and Communications Career Pathway panel. Today, we have the Hyatt House Chicago Evanston here with us, the General Manager, Johnny Valencia. We have the Sales Director of Sales, Marlena Karwowski, and we have the Sales Coordinator, Alex Palo Minto. So welcome, team. I'm so excited you all are here. I'd love for you to share the opportunities at Hyatt House Chicago Evanston. Thanks for being here.
Hi, everybody. This is our team.
Hello.
Small selection. We wanted to introduce you to our hotel. So, Johnny, take it.
Yeah, I'm Johnny, and general manager for the Hyatt House Chicago Evanston. This hotel is open May 10th, 2016. We have 114 rooms. We have meeting space. We're in central Evanston. We're located a lot of restaurants, shops, and walking distance to a lot of places. And we welcome you.
My name is Marlena Karowski. I wanted to introduce you a little bit more about the hotel and what opportunities we have for employment. As of this moment, we have 2 positions for bartenders, and we have 3 full-time positions for housekeeping attendants. However, we also have front desk, we have house persons positions available from time to time, coordinator in sales, we have our housekeeping inspectors. So also front desk will include a position of supervisor. For our staff, the biggest benefit is a competitive pay. We do provide options for healthcare and for health insurance and life insurance. We have an option for the 401k retirement investment, PTO accrual, flexible work schedule, which also allows our employees to still be able to go to school as needed. A lot of our employees actually do have that as an availability. But most exciting for me is that we do have employee discounts throughout many different hotels, not just Hyatt's. Genco provides $39 rate for the properties that Genco specifically owns, which is our company that owns the building and operates. But there's just so much more, including very fun co-hosts and co-workers and an environment that is nice, safe, and comfortable.
So we have our welcoming lobby here. It greets travelers from all over the world. Guests come to stay with us for fun, business, family events. We work very closely with Northwestern University as well. And that expands into so many different departments. Our front desk, you'll see right as you enter, it's our reception desk. Attendants are most of the time the first people that you'll see. So you'll be welcomed by friendly faces, big smiles, and warm welcomes.
And at our hotel, we also have food and beverage team who assists with daily breakfast and offers afternoon food menu along with beverage at our H bar. The F&B team is important as guests often need the convenience of having food where they stay. Also, that provides some comfort.
Spacious rooms offer safe and comfortable space to work, relax, enjoy company. Our housekeeping team makes every room up to Hyatt standards and cares for every single detail. Inspectors go and visit the rooms to make sure that all the details are not overlooked and everything is immaculate.
So we do have our public area. This is our workout area here that we have. We have our fitness room, our hallways and restrooms are always in perfect conditions. So our housekeepers are always on top of that, making sure that we are clean all around.
The sales team, along with our general manager and managing team, supports every department, ensuring that each associates are cared for. Each guest has the best possible visit. Hospitality industry has many opportunities to find great employment, work with mentors, who supports each other, often ability to learn new things, earn promotions, develop a career.
And we just also wanted to mention that our Hyatt team is built on the foundation of the Hyatt Corporation purpose, which is we care for people so they can be their best. And that includes not just our associates, not just our guests, but also our owners, but mainly our community. And this is where it's really important to work together, provide opportunities to every single person, especially our students. Our youth is most important.
Yes.
So we hope to see you around.
Yes.
Fantastic. Thank you, Hyatt, for the information and for sharing your opportunities. And we hope to continue partnering with our summer internship program for graduating seniors. Thank you.
We're here for you at any time.
Hey, E-Town, welcome. This is Ms. Tana Francelno. I'm the Career Partnership Manager here at ETHS. And today we have a guest speaker for our Arts and Communications Career Pathway Info session, Derek Blakely, who is a news reporter here in the Chicagoland area and a resident of Evanston. He's going to talk to us today about his path in his career field. Go ahead, Derek.
Hey, Tana, thank you very much. Thank you very much for the invitation. And thank you much, ETHS, for inviting me to speak with you. Again, my name is Derek Blakely. I grew up in Chicago, but I've lived in Evanston for about 35 years. And for more than 40 years, I worked as a television reporter and news anchor. I worked at NBC5, at CBS 2, and I worked at CBS Network News doing news stories for a national audience. And if you'd like a career where you could literally be an eyewitness to history and also indulge your passions, no matter what they may be, journalism may be what you're looking for, or a career in the media may be what you're looking for. Students also want to know, always want to know, what a career path looks like, how you get from where you're sitting today to earning a living in the news business and in the media business. So I'm going to share my screen now and let you know my career path. Now, you should understand that no two career paths are alike. And no two people have a similar career path in media or anything else, really. But this is just to give you a sample. I was about your age in high school when I decided I wanted to be a reporter. I wanted to be a journalist. I wanted a career in media. And so I decided the best way to do that would be to go to a college that had a journalism program. I was fortunate enough to get into Northwestern University here in Evanston. I sometimes tell people I haven't gone very far in my life, but it was invaluable in learning the nuts and bolts of the news business, how to operate in a newsroom, how to recognize what a news story is, and more importantly, how to write it and get it into print or get it on the air. In 1973, I got an internship through Northwestern on a newspaper in Green Bay, Wisconsin. Now, they sent me there as part of a program they used to call Teaching Newspaper, and that's what they did. The benefit for me is I got to work in the professional newsroom. I got bylines, wrote stories with my name on them, by Derek Blakely. And as a result, I was able to land a paying internship the following summer at the Chicago Tribune. And again, I wrote stories. They were published in the Tribune. I always tell people my first day, I got the story on the front page, which is true, and which was very exciting. But it was more learning the nuts and bolts, again, of how to operate in a newsroom. I decided to get a master's degree. You don't really need one in the news business, but I wasn't ready to leave college yet. So I went to the University of Illinois, I got a master's degree. The Tribune kind of held a position for me. So I joined there after I graduated from the University of Illinois in 1976. I worked at the Tribune for a couple of years, but I had an interest in TV. And a news director in Columbus, Ohio, heard about me and hired me to do TV and really learn how to do TV, because the only thing I knew about TV was how to turn one on. But I was very fortunate to work with great people, great teachers. In other words, my professional colleagues in Columbus. And as a result of that position, I was hired at CBS Network News. And that's doing news for a national audience, doing stories for the CBS Evening News, the morning news, Sunday morning, traveling all around the Midwest from Chicago. And then I was sent overseas, and I worked for 5 years in London and Germany. I got laid off from CBS News, which was quite a blow, but I came back to Chicago and got a job as a street reporter at NBC5, eventually began anchoring there, wound up as the weekend anchor there. And then in 2003, I went to CBS 2 locally here in Chicago, worked as a news anchor there and a news reporter. And my last position there was as a political reporter before I retired in 2019. So that gives you a rundown of my career. I talked about witnessing history, and I have covered wars, I've covered political contests, elections, and human tragedies. Sometimes human tragedies happen where you don't expect them. And I want to show you a bit of a story I did while living overseas. It's about a deadly riot at a European Championship football game. If I can share my screen.
But just before the kickoff, there was a terrible riot in the stands. At least 88 people were killed, 350 others injured. Derek Blakely in London has our coverage.
60,000 fans were on hand in Brussels to watch Liverpool and Juventus of Italy square off for the European Soccer Championship. But less than an hour before the scheduled kickoff, the soccer ground became a killing ground. It began with a drunken stampede by Liverpool fans. They charged into a section of the stands reserved for the Italians, breaking down the barriers separating the two sides. As fistfights erupted, hundreds poured onto the field to escape the violence. But dozens of frightened Juventus fans were pinned against a concrete wall, trampled or crushed in the senseless scramble. Even as the injured were led away, sporadic clashes between police and spectators continued. Neither the authorities nor most of the fans immediately realized the scale of the disaster. It took 20 minutes for the riot squad to arrive and 20 minutes more for the ambulances to show up. By then, the extent of the carnage was clear. A mass of bodies piled up in what resembled a war zone. British officials were reluctant to directly blame Liverpool fans for the violence.
But undoubtedly what has happened this evening, as the Prime Minister said when I spoke to her earlier this evening, undoubtedly a mood of shame will now develop upon European football.
But British sportscasters covering the match said the shame belonged to Liverpool.
Such a popular sport, such a popular media, the publicity, and they know that this is where they're going to get it. It's just we're dealing with animals and people with very small minds.
There we go. I'm not going to show you the entire story, but in the simplest form, that's what reporters do. Witness, observe, and then tell the world what they saw. I've worked in Chicago, as I said, most of my career, but I've also worked in London, Germany, covered stories all over Europe, the Middle East, Africa, seeing the world at the company's expense. As I said, I was fortunate to know I wanted to be a reporter by the time I was your age. And as preparation, it's important to read as much as you can and write as much as you can. Reading good writing helps you learn how to write well, which is still the foundation for communicators. Even in this age when it seems the spoken word is more important, the written word, writing well, is still paramount. And I always say if you can write well, you can make a living in the media business, not only in TV or radio, but in advertising, in public relations, and in something that didn't exist when I was your age, which was digital media. And one of the ways the world and the journalism world, the media world has greatly changed is the explosion of digital media. When I was breaking in, there was newspapers, radio, 4 or 5 local TV stations in every market, and then the major TV networks. When I broke in, we wrote stories on typewriters. Personal computers weren't even invented yet, let alone cell phones and websites that serve them. Newspapers really are dying, but they're moving online with an explosion of all other websites that cover every topic and interest. So that 40 years ago, Will Smith slapping Chris Rock on the Oscars would have still been a huge story, but the video of that slap wouldn't have been replayed millions of times on websites and on cell phones. and the discussion of what happened wouldn't have dominated social media for days because there was no social media. All of that means that there are more ways than ever for you to break into media if you're prepared. If you're prepared, because all these websites, all these digital platforms need people to prepare content and be able to present it professionally and in an understandable manner. And that's opportunity for you if you want to go into media. And finally, I want to point out something that many kids don't think about. Whatever your passion is, there's a way to make a living, a career, writing or reporting on it. So do you love sports? Obviously, sports writing, talk sports radio, cable TV sports shows. They're all the rage. Do you like music? Music reporters and critics make a living by going to concerts and interviewing performers, keeping the public up to date about new music. Same thing about fashion. If you're clothes crazy and love to get into reporting about the fashion world. You have a passion for cars. Websites and magazines report on the latest models. Take them for test drives and put readers and viewers behind the wheel of those automobiles. Literally anything that you're passionate about, and it can be of a higher order. It could be healthcare, or it can be foreign affairs. It can be social justice issues. Anything that you're passionate about, someone else is too, and that can be the basis of your media career. So I hope I've given you some things to think about, and what an exciting career this is, and how you can get into it. It's fun, it's fast moving, it's always changing, and there is going to be a market. There's always a market for news and information that is relevant to viewers, relevant to consumers. Thank you for your time and attention, and I wish you the best of luck in choosing your own career.
Thank you, Derek. That was fantastic information. We are really excited to have you here, and we are so grateful that you were able to share your career path with students so that they can learn how they can enter this career field. Thanks for being here with us. Hey, E-Town, welcome back. We are now having our next speaker, Ruben Carzana from Northlight Theater is here with us today to talk about opportunities in the arts at Northlight Theater. Thanks for being here, Ruben.
Yeah, of course. Thanks for having me. All right, wonderful. Hey, everyone. Like Tana said, my name is Ruben Carzana, and I work over at Northlight Theater. Okay, so I currently am the Community Engagement Manager at Northlight Theater. Northlight Theater is a professional theater company in Skokie, so right next to Evanston, not too far away. Northlight produces 5 plays a year, and we typically we don't do really, really large shows. Like I think the max we'll have in our cast is maybe like 6 or 8 actors. So we like really small shows. We don't do really big musicals. If we ever do a musical, it'll be a really small musical. That's the kind of theater that Northlight is interested in. And we have about 50,000 audience members that come see our shows every year. So we're one of the bigger professional theaters in the Chicagoland area. That's a little bit about Northlight. And there's some news about Northlight that some of you might know about. We are currently in Skokie, but in about 2 years, we will have a new building in downtown Evanston. And this is a rendering, an imagining, a drawing of what that building will look like. We've already purchased the building that is currently there. It's on Church Street. That building is going to be demolished. It's going to be torn down. And then they're going to start constructing this brand new building, which will be Northlight's new home. Northlight Theater started in Evanston like 40 years ago. We moved to Skokie, and now we're going to be moving back to Evanston, which is a really big deal for Northlight, and I think for Evanston to have a really big professional theater company right in the middle of downtown will be really exciting. So that's a little bit about Northlight and our new building. Different careers at Northlight. So like I said, I am the community engagement manager at Northlight. So I work in the education department at the theater, but there's lots of different departments. So in this little column that says arts administrators right here, these are the folks that work in the theater kind of like full-time in the office with me. So we have the artistic director and the executive director and the managing director. Those are all folks who are kind of like who oversee all of the other smaller departments underneath them, right? The artistic director is in charge of choosing what shows we're going to be doing every season, helping to find the directors to direct all of those shows, helping to find the playwrights and forming relationships with playwrights who are going to be writing these shows, maybe creating brand new plays that have their first premiere at Northlight Theater. Then the executive director kind of like oversees all of the kind of like business side of things. So the artistic director looks at all of the artistic stuff. The executive director looks at all of the non-artistic stuff that goes into running a theater, right? And then we have our development department. Some theaters might call it advancement, development. It's basically fundraising. The development department is all about raising money for the theater to be able to run and do the shows that we do. Then there's the finance department. So if you're really into like numbers and math, the finance department, it's all about, you know, the taxes and making sure that everybody gets paid on time and writing out those checks. That's the finance department. And then the marketing department, if you're into like graphic design or social media at all, that's what the marketing department is all about. You know, public relations, reaching out to like newspapers and radio stations, TV news stations, trying to get the word out on all of the shows that we do, running discounts and sales for our shows to kind of like bump up ticket sales. That's all the marketing department. Then there's the education department, which is, like I said, the department that I work in. And in the education department, and this can be different from theater to theater, but at Northlight, the way that it works is we have programs that we do in schools. We send out our teaching artists to schools to do in-school programming, different sorts of workshops, theater workshops. But then we also have partnerships with different community organizations like libraries or the YMCA or the YWCA. And we send out teaching artists to lead educational programming at those organizations as well. So that's all education. It's all about kind of like going out into the community and into schools and kind of like sharing our tools and our resources with them. Yeah. And then there's the production department. And the production department is the department that is in charge of putting on the shows on our stages, right? So they actually produce the shows. So if you go over to the little column on our left that says artists, these are all the people that are involved in our productions, in our shows, right? So every production is going to need actors, right? If there's music, we're going to need musicians. Sometimes it'll be live musicians. Like if it's a musical, we need like an orchestra, or sometimes it might be pre-recorded. We'll have playwrights. Every show needs a playwright, somebody who actually writes the play, right? The person who writes the script. Directors, each play needs a director and sometimes an assistant director. Every show needs designers and technicians, right? So that's everything from scenery. If you're interested in like carpentry, building scenery, I did a lot of that right out of college, building scenery for lots of theaters. If you're interested in costumes, fashion design, sewing, there's a costume designer for every show, and there's a lighting designer, there's a sound designer, there's a props designer, there's hair and makeup, and these are just some of them, right? There's some shows that might need projections, right? So we might need a video designer for some shows. Some shows might have puppets, right? So we'll need puppet designers and people to actually operate the puppets. We might have magic in a show, right? In which case we'll need a magician or a magic consultant or a magic designer to kind of like create the magic for the show, right? So lots of different opportunities for lots of different interests. Each show has a stage manager, right? Which is the person who kind of like runs the rehearsal process to make sure that everyone's taking breaks at the right time. And then once the show starts, once it starts performances, the stage manager is the one who's basically in charge, making sure that all of the actors are there on time, making sure that all of the lights and sound cues are happening at the right time. They manage the entire production. That's why they're called the stage manager, right? And then we have choreographers for each show. So if there's any dance, like if it's a musical, we'll have a choreographer for those dance moments. If there's any fights or violence, we'll need a fight choreographer for those moments. And if there's any moments of intimacy, moments where characters need to like touch each other, or moments of romance, we'll need an intimacy choreographer for that to make sure that everybody feels safe and comfortable about those moments. And then, of course, we have our teaching artists, which, like I said earlier, in the education department, the teaching artists are the artists that we send out to schools and to our community partners in the area to lead all of our educational programming. So that's a little bit about the different career opportunities at Northlake. My career pathway, right? So how did I get to where I'm at today? So in high school, I joined the drama club and I did a bunch of school plays. I'm originally from Miami, Florida. So I did some theater in middle school, but I really got into it in high school. I did a bunch of plays in high school, and then we also entered a bunch of high school theater competitions. And I competed in a number of different categories, you know, doing monologues, doing scenes, playwriting competitions, directing competitions. And that was a really big deal for my high school theater teacher, Miss Sieg, who's like a second mother to me. Every time I go back to Miami to visit my family, I always visit Miss Sieg. She's so important to me. But it was really important to Miss Sieg that even if you're only interested in acting, it was really important to her that you also do some kind of like technical category. So if you were going to compete in an acting category, she also made sure that you competed in a technical category. So costume design, scenery design, directing, playwriting, because she really wanted us to have a well-rounded education, right? To know all about the many different aspects that go into making theater happen, because there's so much that goes into it. It's not just acting. There are so many people who need to come together to make a play happen. When I was in high school, I also read lots of plays. One way that you can do that, and if you're in high school, you might be thinking, how can I find plays? There's a website called the New Play Exchange, and that's a website that thousands and thousands of playwrights go on there. They create a profile and they just upload their plays on there. And sometimes they'll upload like a little excerpt, just like a couple of pages, but sometimes they'll upload the entire script. And you can just go on there, create an account for yourself. You don't need to be a playwright. Just create an account for yourself, and you can like have access to all of these plays. And so you can read what everyone in the country and around the world is writing. And if you're in high school and you want to like, you know, bring one of these plays to your high school theater teacher and be like, hey, I think this is a play that is worth doing. That's something I did a lot of in high school, is I read a bunch of plays and then I brought them to Miss Sieg, my high school drama teacher. And I said, hey, this is something that I think will work for us and the people that we have in the theater program this year. And then we would produce those, which is really exciting. And then in high school, I also used student discounts to see plays, because I think it's really important to see as much work as possible, right? So that was high school. And then after I graduated from high school, I went to college and I moved to Dallas. So I'm originally from Miami. I moved all the way to Dallas, left my family behind to study theater at Southern Methodist University. And I got my BFA in theater, my Bachelor in Fine Arts. So that was a 4-year program. And I went there specifically just to study acting. But in my time there, I really got interested in all of the other aspects of theater. And that was really important to my theater program as well, is they had us do like a semester of scenery, a semester of costuming, a semester of lighting, a semester of stage management, right? So I got to experience all of these different disciplines, right? And I was fascinated by it. And so I did that for 4 years in college. I worked during the summers. Whenever I would go back home to Miami, I would work at a theater in Miami, building scenery and assistant stage managing. So that's a way that I made sure to kind of like stay busy during the summer. And sometimes even during winter breaks, because our winter breaks in college were like 4 weeks long. So a little bit longer, I think, than in high school. I made sure to kind of, stay busy, get internships or work at theaters and try to stay busy as much as possible. And also while I was in college, I used student discounts to see plays. And then after college, I worked as an actor, as a director, as a writer, as a producer, and as a teaching artist in Dallas, right? So I used all of the skills that I gained in high school and college, and I kind of like brought them into my professional career. And then in June of this past year, June 2021, I moved to Chicago. So I'm brand new to the city. I'm brand new to Northlight. I'm a freelance theater artist in Chicago now, and I act and I direct in town. I signed with a talent agent in town. So if you want to like get cast in shows, you don't necessarily need a talent agent, but if you're interested in like pursuing commercials or film or TV work, it's really, really helpful to have a talent agent. And there's lots of different talent agencies in Chicago, and you can just like Google them, just look them up online, go to their website and find out what their submission policies are. Like how can you submit, ask to be represented by them, and you can just follow those instructions. And now I'm the community engagement manager at Northlight Theater. So that's what I do during the day. And then in evenings, I'll go to like rehearsals for different theater companies around town. So that's a little bit about my career pathway, a little bit about how I got to where I am today. At Northlight, there's a lot of different opportunities for young people. We have a group called the Northlight Youth Council. You can see a picture of them up at the top. That's us. We went to go see a show at Chicago Shakespeare. So the Northlight Youth Council is a group of high schoolers from the Chicagoland area, Chicago, Skokie, Evanston. And we meet twice a month from September through June. And basically what we do is we take them to go see shows at Northlight. We take them to go see shows at other theaters around town. We introduce them to working professional theater artists, and they'll come in and host like little mini workshops with them, or Q&As, talkbacks, question and answer sessions with them. So it's all about exposing young people, high schoolers who are interested in theater, exposing them to the world of professional theater. And if you're interested in being a part of the Northlight Youth Council, applications for that will go live in July for our next season. So if you just go to Northlight's website, starting around July, you'll find more information on the Northlight Youth Council. We also have an event called a Teen Spotlight event. That's going to be Sunday, May 1st, and we're offering free tickets for teens. So teenagers who are interested in free tickets to see our next show, which is called Intimate Apparel. That's a photo of Intimate Apparel at the bottom left right there. All you need to do is you just need to scan this little QR code right here. So if you just pick up your phone and point it at the QR code and scan it with your camera app, it'll take you to a registration form, and you can just register for this event. You don't have to pay anything. It's completely free. Just give us your information so we know how to contact you and send you, and we can email you more information about how to get your tickets the day of the performance. But again, that's Sunday, May 1st. And we're just gonna have a bunch of, our youth council will be there, and a bunch of other teams will hopefully be there to come see this show. And then finally, the last thing I wanna share with you all is we have a new program at Northlight. And this is a partnership between Northlight and ETHS. This is a program called Northlight Theater Makers. And this is going to be, it's going to happen from June 6th through June 17th. It's going to be Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. So this is during the summer, and it's a 2-week program. And this is an opportunity for you to get paid to learn about the business and the art of theater. So you don't have to pay anything to be a part of this. We're actually going to pay you to be a part of this, right? For 2 weeks, you can have a bunch of hands-on job training through a number of different workshops. You're going to get to meet professional theater artists that we're going to bring in and talk with you. You're going to get to have discussions with them, ask them questions. There'll be a playwriting workshop and an acting workshop that's a part of this Northlight Theater Makers program. You'll also learn about different summer and fall job opportunities at Northlight. And it's completely free for ETHS students, like I said. And we really encourage BIPOC students to apply to this. So if you're interested, there's a QR code right here. It says scan me, you can't miss it. Again, just hold up your phone to that, scan that QR code. It'll take you to the registration form for Northlight Theater Makers, and you'll just answer a couple of questions. So we'll have your information, and then we'll reach out to you. And that is that. That's what I had prepared for y'all today. So thank you so much. I'm really excited to be able to share this information with y'all.
Thanks, Ruben. Wow, fantastic opportunities in the arts in our community. And I'm so excited to see Northlight is moving to Evanston. That's going to be amazing. Having a theater back downtown Evanston where we can walk, take public transportation, and really enjoy a great show and an evening out. So thanks so much for being with us. And I look forward to coordinating students into the Northlight Makers program. So we'll get to get students for that. If you're interested, students, please sign up right away. Thanks, Ruben, for being with us.
Thank you. Yeah, thanks.
Oakton Community College Areas of Interest and Pathways. Oakton students can complete a certificate, associate's degree, or general education courses by identifying their area of interest. Within each area of interest are multiple pathway programs. Oakton's programs include more than 80 subject areas across numerous careers and fields. And once a student is enrolled in Oakton, they will work with an Oakton advisor to build a plan and a pathway that aligns with their educational and career goals. Today, we are going to focus on the Oakton Community College area of interest and pathways in fine, performing, and applied arts. Fine, performing, and applied arts career pathway at Oakton include art, graphic design, music, and theater. Art has always been central to the human experience. Whether you're pursuing meaning through beauty or enhancing the value of a new product through graphic design, Oakton is your training ground. Seniors, it's not too late to enroll at Oakton Community College. There are multiple opportunities to connect with the Oakton Community College Enrollment Services Office here at ETHS. Coming soon on Wednesday, April 20th and May 4th, you can drop in the hub West 220J, the College and Career Services classroom, to work on anything that involves Oakton, whether you need to still apply, you need to check your admission status, you want to work on financial aid, you want to understand your award letter, you want help scheduling your placement tests. And also, if you're looking for information about the Oakton Access and Disability Resource Center, we want to connect you with Oakton. Our local representative is Ms. Karen Cascino. You may email her at kcascino@oakton.edu or request an in-person or virtual appointment with the bit.ly that you see on your screen. Ms. Cascino is in person in College and Career Services every Wednesday. Well, that is all that we have for you this evening. Thank you to all of our viewers. Thank you for a wonderful year. Again, as a reminder, all the career pathway opportunities that we shared with you today and in previous info sessions can be found on the ETHS Career Pathway Google site and on school links. I would like to give a huge thank you to Ms. Francelno, our Career Partnership Manager, our local MEAC, the Mayor Employer Advisory Council business partners that were with us today, including the Hyatt House Hotel, our reporter Derek Blakely, and the Northlight Theater in Skokie/Evanston coming soon, and Oakton Community College. We are fortunate in Evanston to have a community of local business partners and leaders like the ones that you heard from this year talking about and creating career growth opportunities for our Evanston youth. We hope that our ETHS youth and families heard our message this school year and will seek out these amazing opportunities so we can continue to grow our own here in Evanston. We hope that you will join us for future in-person, virtual, or YouTube Career Pathway info sessions in the near future. Thank you, and go Kids!